Hello and welcome to the Classic Hollywood Movie You Should Know. I'm Nate Washburn. This week the movie is from 1937, Stage Door, starring Katharine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers, directed by Gregory LaCava. Now Stage Door gets listed as a comedy, but I do want to point out that it has some very dark moments. In fact, I'm going to put a little content warning on this movie if you do watch it. It deals with some heavy topics like depression, lack of food, malnutrition because one of the characters can't afford to pay for meals, suicide. It's pretty heavy and modern for a comedy made in 1937. Now the premise of Stage Door, it's an ensemble piece. The idea is, what are the lives of actresses like when they are not on stage, when they are looking for work, when they are trying to make it in the entertainment world? It is loosely based on the play of the same name written by George S. Kaufman and Edna Ferber. And the major part of the action takes place in what's called the Footlights Club in New York City. It's sort of a boarding house for these actresses. It's cheap rent, cheap meals, kind of a place to hang your hat when you are looking for work, when you are trying to become a star on the stage. Now the two leads of this film are Katharine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers. Katharine Hepburn plays a character named Terry Randall. She is sort of fresh in New York. She has never acted before. She shows up at the Footlights Club looking for a room, saying she wants to be an actress, even though she's never tried it. Ginger Rogers is Jean Maitland, who's like an old pro. She's a cynic, she's sarcastic. She can't really get a read on Terry because Terry clearly has a lot of money, so Jean's not quite sure what to make of that. Like, does Terry have a sugar daddy? Anyways, Jean does not trust Terry from the moment that they meet, and sort of the movie follows the two of them as they make their way through New York, looking for work, finding jobs, and all of that. Now, as the lives of Terry and Jean are followed, the other actresses who live at the Footlights Club, their stories get interwoven into sort of these two main stories, and you get snippets of their lives. You get stories about like the men that they date, the food that they hate, the jobs that they've had, the auditions that they've gone on, like the struggle. And it's such like snappy, witty dialogue. Like the dialogue in this movie is fantastic. And the story is that Gregory LaCava had the actresses improv scenes. He had them ad-lib at moments, and then they would incorporate the good parts of that dialogue into the script. He listened to each of these actresses and the way that they spoke, and so their voices are really well represented, and the dialogue does seem fresh and real for a movie this old. Now, I also want to point out the supporting cast in this film. Led by a very young and very funny Lucille Ball right here. But the standout from this supporting cast has to be Andrea Leeds, who plays the character of Kay Hamilton. Now, Kay's story is she had this mega success on Broadway a year earlier than the film taking place, and has been struggling to find a part, struggling to get auditions. And she doesn't have any money, and so she's the one suffering from the depression. She can't afford to pay for the meals, and it just leads to this tragic climax. And Andrea Leeds, she imbues this role in this character with such feeling that she really highlights the ups and downs that happen in the acting profession. Now, Stage Door was a hit, but it was not a mega hit. It got good reviews, and it got nominated for 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director for Gregory LaCava, and Best Supporting Actress for Andrea Leeds as Kay Hamilton. It didn't win any Oscars, but that doesn't take anything away from how good this movie is. Now, I really wanted to do this film, and I chose it because of the pandemic and COVID and quarantine. Theaters are shut. There's really no live theater happening at the moment. Some theaters are slowly starting to open up and doing socially distant performances and stuff like that, but these theaters do need our help. And so if you are a lover of the theater, or if you're interested in the theater, go on the websites of some of the theaters around you and support them. You know, donate some money, become a subscriber or a member, or even purchase tickets or gift cards for future productions, because in that way we can keep these theaters going. There's a website called Poor Stewart, which I will share in the notes. It provides an alphabetical list of regional theaters around the country, and each one has a link to that theater. So you can find one that's near you, click on the link, look at the theater, see what's happening. A lot of them are doing Zoom productions or streaming past productions so you can see some theater. But go on those websites and support if you can. The theater world really needs our help during this time. And If you are a theater lover, definitely give a watch to 1937 Stage Door. It's a really great backstage comedy with some darker elements. Highly recommend it. It's this week's classic Hollywood movie you should know. I'm Nate Washburn. Keep watching.